Working on the homework journal question for section 3.3. So here is the problem. If f of x equals to g of x over h of x, then f prime of x equals 2. So from this statement, it's given to graph of g of x and h of x. So in this problem, we'll be looking for f prime of 2. And from like the given function right here. So first we have to notice is that we have to use quotient rule for this problem. Quotient rule for this problem. So as a reminder, let's review the quotient rule one more time. So f prime of x equals to f prime g minus g prime f over g squared. And then in this case, the labeling are a little bit different. So we'll just for clarification, g of x is f of x, f in this case, and g is the h of x in this case. So let's rewrite our function as g prime of x times hx minus h prime x times gx over hx squared. So because the problem didn't give us any information regarding of the functions for these two functions, for g of x and also h of x, so we will be investigating the values through the graphs that were given. So first we will be investigating four important values in total. So first will be g prime, h and h prime is in h prime. Since we're looking for like the f prime when the x equals 3, x equals 2, so the x value will be 2 for both of the graphs. So first of all, let's look into our g of x graph. So from here we know when x equals to 2, g of x equals to 5. So the coordinates right here is 2, 5. 2, 5. So is 5. Then let's see, as we all know that g prime or any prime means the derivative of the original function, which is the slope. So from here we can utilize like the previous point in this case. So as we can see, it's going down 2 and going right for 1. So it's actually going down. So it's going to be negative 2. So right here, g of prime is negative 2, which is quite simple, right? Or more, there's another way to investigate. So from the previous point, the coordinate, we could see when x equals to 1, y equals to 7. So g of 1 equals to 7. Then we can use the formula to find slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is a little bit more accurate way if you want to double check with your answer. So it's going to be 7 minus 5 over, it's going to be, because we want to be consistent, this is going to be what 2. So 5 minus 7 over 2 minus 1, which is negative 2 over 1. It's actually the same thing that we've utilized from the graph is negative 2. Then for h of x, when x equals to 2, it is actually in between, so we will consider it as 4.3, 4.5. And h prime is also the slope. So from here we can see the slope is positive right here because it's rising, right? So from This point to this point, I will consider it as a 1 unit and 1, so it's actually 1. But just for clarification, right here, the coordinates are 1.3 or 3.5, so we can utilize that. And also, like right here is 2, 4.5, so we could also utilize it. Equals to 4, 5 minus 3, 5 over 2 minus 1, which is 1 as well. Then we just simply plug in the values. So first is g prime of x equals to negative 2 times h of x is 4.5 minus h prime of 2 is 1 times 5. G of 2 is 5. And then over h of x is 4.5, which is 4.5 squared. Then we're just plugging all of the values into our calculators. The final result we get is 56 over 81. And that's it. I believe that a lot of people were having decimals in their fractions, but just to make sure you have converted your decimals into fraction, not containing decimals in your fraction. That's just like a little hint that you have to be careful with. And yeah, here, that's it. Thank you so much for listening.